Drop in the market prompted this response from GOP presidential candidate Scott Walker. He said the president should cancel a state visit from China's president to the White House. Cancel it. Walker cites China's continued manipulation of its markets, cyber attacks against the U.S. blamed on China, as well as its military buildup in the South China Sea. Mercedes Schlapp thinks the president should cancel the visit. Craig Smith does not. Mercedes, to you first. You cancel a state visit. That is a huge insult to China. It's very harsh. You really want to do that?
What's a worse insult is the fact that China continues to manipulate its currency. It continues to have these Chinese hackers that are costing millions, if not billions of dollars for American companies. And the fact that we're dealing with a situation right now where the U.S., has to be much more aggressive in dealing with the Chinese government.
Okay, Craig, you think that the visit should take place. Make your case.
Well, absolutely. Stuart, first off, this was planned back in February. And quite frankly, it's just rude to cancel on a world leader, for Pete's sakes. I mean, it shows a lack of manners. But more importantly, the meeting was supposed to be about climate change, which I think is a bunch of baloney, but also the Iranian nuclear deal. Now, if we want to all of a sudden follow the bouncing Trump, because Trump the other day attacked China because of our financial woes, then I guess we'll all take this position. But if you're a free market economist and you believe in the free markets, China is merely trying to do what's best for their economy. I agree with Mercedes that we should stop the hacking and the stealing of intellectual properties. But this is what gives our president the chance to sit down with President Xi and talk to him about these issues. Now, whether he will or not is another thing, but that's what you do. It's called diplomacy.
Do you think President Obama would get tough with China's leader?
Actually, I don't. But that doesn't mean you cancel a meeting. I mean, we say we have a weak president, so therefore we're canceling the meeting. You've got to keep the communications open, Stuart. And look, I was with Neil 2 weeks ago when the Chinese dropped their currency 3.5%. We didn't see the market come apart right away, Stuart. You remember. And then it was the end of the week, it started getting weak. Last week we lost 1,000 points. Yesterday we lost 580. Today we lost, I didn't see the final tick, 300-400 points, or whatever it was. I mean, this has nothing to do with Chinese. Look, we're in a global slowdown. America's in a slowdown. Look at corporate profits that are being forecast for the next quarter, Stuart. They're going to go negative.
Right.
Okay, Craig.
Gary has this right. We're in a world recession.
Mercedes, come back into this. Last word to you.
Sure. I mean, but are we really going to roll out the red carpet to the Chinese government? We keep having these economic summits, meeting after meeting after meeting, and yet the Chinese continue to ignore the U.S. interests in any way. At the end, the ones who are suffering are those investors, those mom and pops out there who have put their money into the stock market. We're seeing obviously right now anxiety in our markets, and I have to say it does have to deal a lot with the Chinese economic slowdown and the state government's control of creating more corporate debt in their country. And I just think at the end it's poor for America, and we have to put some pressure on the Chinese government to change its ways.
All right.
This
debate will continue. Craig, Mercedes, thank you very much, both of you. We're not finished with this debate. It's going to continue, believe me. Craig, thanks very much, and Mercedes. To Ashley Webster at the New York